What's going on, Poke People? It's the Meta King here, and today I have a profile of my Yveltal Darkrai deck, as well as some very exciting news at the end of this video. So, without further ado, I'm just going to jump right into the deck profile. So I have 3 Yveltal EX. He is a great attacker, maybe the best in the game. Mainly for Evil Ball, he's like a Mewtwo on steroids, and he is just a crazy powerhouse. He can get KOs really quickly, Dark type doesn't hurt at all either, and resistance to fighting in this deck is a very good thing. We have 1 regular Yveltal, mostly for Oblivion Wing, in case I can't get a Dark Patch, or I just don't have one in my hand. He's a really good tech to have in there because he is a replacement for Dark Patch, and he actually has a pretty good attack too. I run a pair of Sableye because you can recover things such as Dark Patch or the A-Spec in this deck, or any item. Like if you want Hypnotoxic Laser, you can get a lot of stuff back with Sableye, so he's a really good card to have in his deck. I considered running 3, but I'd have to drop a Darkrai for that, and I wouldn't like to do that because I have 2 Darkrai, pretty much only for Dark Cloak, although the bench hit is nice with Night Spear. Just been a solid card since the day it came out. It's going to be a solid card for the next 2 years. And the last Pokemon is 1 Bouffalant. I have him as a 1 prize, pretty cheap attacker. He can kill EXs pretty quick, especially when you get stuff going with the Night Spear. In combination with Night Spear, 120 damage, you get 2 hits on a benched EX, and then promote them to the active. Bouffalant will get the kill, and get it quickly. The A-Spec I run in this deck is Life Dew, so that's either for like Sableye. I could put it on an Yveltal if I really wanted to, but I usually don't. But drawing 1 less prize card can draw the game out a little bit more, just long enough to a point where you could take a pretty quick comeback and just draws the game out, makes your opponent draw more prizes. And it's very annoying to play against. For supporters, 3 Juniper. Sometimes you don't want to discard a bunch of resources. Sometimes you do, but it's you kind of want to conserve them in this deck because some of them are fairly limited. Although you do have Sableye. We have 3 Chorus because you run a fairly big bench size, and a lot of decks around today do run big bench sizes, so you can get some cards in your hand pretty quick, and later game this is much better than Juniper. I have a pair of Ends because not often does this deck get behind in prize cards. So 2 Ends is all I could really afford to run. Maybe 3, but I'd rather run a second Lysander, which I do have 2 of, if you couldn't tell by that. So 2 Lysander gets any Pokemon I want in the active, gets the job done pretty quick, and it's much better than Catcher because, although it does wish to support it for the turn, it's a guaranteed catcher, pretty much. 2 Skylas. Search for any trainer I want, Sableye can bring it back, and we have an endless cycle of good trainer cards. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4 Ultra Balls. Get to Darken and discard, so Yveltal and Dark Patch can bring them back. And 4, a search card that's a really good one. 4 Hypnotoxic Laser, because you need to get some extra damage out, and this is a pretty easy way to do it. In conjunction with Verbank, you get KOs extremely quickly. I run 4 Dark Club because the vast majority of the Pokemon in this deck are Dark type. Although I might run Muscle Band instead so Bouffalant can have access to it, but usually I attach a Life to Bouffalant. So it's not very necessary. I have 3 Energy Switch, so I can power up an Yveltal without even thinking about it. And I don't need to run Hydreigon that way. 2 Enhanced Hammer, good because a lot of decks around today, such as Aromatisse, Team Plasma, and Turbo Lugia and other things like that, all have high counts of special energy, and it's good to take those out of play. 1 Trick Shovel, situationally this is going to be a really good card, and I like to run one of them because it's a fun card. I run a pair of Professor's Letter to get some dark in, especially early in the game. You want to get some dark in your hand so you can Ultra Ball them away. Get some quick dark patches and Oblivion Wings for those energies. Great acceleration for dark type. Speaking of dark patches, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 of those in this deck. Really good card. Like Darkrai, came out in Deck Explorers and have been good ever since. 2 Crushing Hammer, can knock out any energies, and I run 2 because there's only a 3 out of 4 chance that one of them's going to work. And with Sableye, you have an infinite number of them, pretty much. 2 Burbank City Gym, because you run Hypnotoxic Laser. This is pretty much a staple for any deck that runs Hypnotoxic. You're going to need these. Now on to energy. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Darkness Energy because they're a basic energy card, and, well, you need them for this deck to work. Pretty self-explanatory. And 3 Double Colorless because Bouffalant and Yveltal both need them. And you want to get those 2 powered up because they are the main attackers of this deck. So, anyways, I have some very exciting news for my channel. Over the course of the next 2 weeks, I will be getting a box of Boundaries Crossed in the mail. And when I do, I'll be opening that box on this channel. I'm going to do a little thing I like to call Card Wars, or Pack Wars, where you take all 4 pack arts, and you open them each in a different part. So, for this case, I'll have a stack of Black Huram, stack of White Huram, stack of Keldeo, and stack of Landorus. And I'm going to see which one gets me the best pulls. And I'm going to give away all of the code cards for that box. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So thank you for watching this video. Please comment, like, subscribe, and watch that opening when it comes out. Thanks, and have a nice night.